everybody. Welcome to All That Matters and More. Gamala Mududu.
And I'm Komiki, and welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. But before Dudu and I dive right into it, we just wanted to give you guys a quick disclaimer to let you know that the content we will be providing is for informative, educational, and entertainment purposes.
Yeah, well, guys, and that the information, opinions, as well as recommendations provided by us should be by no means considered as medical or professional advice.
Yay!
So how are you, girl?
I'm all good, girl. How are you doing?
Man, I'm pretty awesome. I mean, today is Valentine's.
Hey.
So I am so excited.
Cupid is coming.
Yeah, nah.
Cupid is definitely coming.
Ooh. Did you meet somebody? Yeah, Komika, you trying to say?
Girl, that is for off camera. Girl, what about you, girl?
Girl, don't be out here asking me about me, child. I'm good. I'm a good girl. I'm going to sit still at home in my bed tonight.
All right, girl.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And, we're closing up on the topic of depression.
Yes.
But definitely there'll be more conversations and discussions had about it. More probably controversial topics as well.
Definitely.
Roundtable discussions. So that's more exciting. So, I mean, with this episode, we just really want to, let people at home, people who are watching, the things that you can say and that you can't say to someone who's depressed.
Yeah. I think that the first thing I think we should touch on is how important it is to always encourage people and to motivate them to say the right things, especially to someone who's depressed.
Yeah.
I think that words have a very impactful nature to them, and sometimes if you're not careful, it can honestly hurt someone.
Yeah.
And obviously we're not saying that it could be detrimental, but it just adds to the amount that they're dealing with, So we always encourage people,
Yeah.
to just always say the right things, always try, always be careful and cautious of what you say, especially to a depressed person, guys.
Like you mentioned, words are a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words, Charlie, words can literally throw you over the edge.
Yeah,
and we don't want it to get to a point of no return. And I think if you watched our previous episode with Big Dreams, he touched on good pointers about if you are surrounded by someone who's depressed or currently in a distressed state, use words to build them.
Yeah.
Use words to remind them of the potential that they possess.
Yeah, definitely.
And the person they can be, so that they're also looking forward to something and they are reminded of who they are before the problem that they are currently faced with.
Yeah, definitely. I think what not to say to a depressed person. I think one of them for me is try harder. No, guys. Like, chances are the person is already trying harder than what they actually are, So just kind of, don't say that one.
Yeah.
It's a no-no.
I think for me, it's also like looking at them and be like, maybe it's like not depression.
Yeah.
Like, how depressed, you're lazy. Or, no, how depressed, Satan.
Yeah. Ooh, in the black families. Unfortunately, in the black communities, we get a lot of that,
It's like we need to educate the masses on what depression is.
Yeah.
And just basically not... how can I put it? Like, not taking away from someone's emotion.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or trying to discredit how they're feeling.
Yeah.
So if today I don't feel like getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Angwas no gudla.
Yeah.
Or they having like suicidal ideation.
Yeah.
Ungatha wena.
It will go away.
Yeah,
Izohamba, so just anything negative, obviously that will be harm. Sometimes things that obviously if you were depressed, you need to think to yourself, what wouldn't I want anybody to say?
Or you're joking, or you're
that.
playing time, like you're wasting time, isn't it, though? Because someone should never feel offended.
Yeah,
by what
also,
she said.
like don't say that, guys. Like, you're just joking, you're playing, stop it. You're fine.
When I was playing.
Yeah, what's playing? Were you not like this last week? Guys, those are a no-no. But rather what to say to someone who's depressed. You can tell them that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah, this too shall pass.
Because everything eventually will be okay. Tell them that they're actually doing a good job. Congratulate them. You can do something, maybe like congratulate them for actually getting out of bed. Like Dudu say, they may probably say something like, I don't feel like getting out of bed. So instead of being negative, be positive and tell them, well done for getting out of bed. Now, come on, let's just push and try get through this day, you know?
Yeah. And I think just basically asking, how are you feeling today? I think that's like a big
Yes,
question. Like, how
yeah.
are you honestly feeling? You know, let's talk about how you're feeling.
Yeah.
And even if that's the case, just listen. And I think also just being attentive to an individual. Like, I think as friends or as family, we can see when you woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Definitely.
Like, just basically to say, you know what, Komikine, today, I saw like you went singing. Like, you normally sing in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, what happened today?
Yeah.
Like, you haven't been singing for a couple of days. How are you?
Yeah.
And then probably you'll know from there that, and I think it will also make the distressed individual to actually be aware of, actually, God damn it, I normally do this, but why?
Like Big Dreams is saying, it's got just a constant reminder of just how amazing you are, the things that you used to do that you love that now you're not necessarily, you know, are enjoying anymore. And just always, guys, just always to be loving and caring and encouraging and motivating. It actually goes a long way. Sometimes we may take it for granted. We are human beings at the end of the day. But to a depressed person, guys, I can assure you that it will go such a long way and it will actually help them to recover or to heal in their process.
And I think also just constantly reminding them that you're there for them.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and that they are not alone, and then you're here to listen. You're not here to judge.
And that they matter. Because they actually do matter.
You value their input in your life, and you actually value what they do or the kind of joy and happiness they bring. You know? And also, I just want to quickly go back on what I've said, because I remember where I used to work, I'm one person, if you really know me, like, I used to love hopping.
Yeah.
So if I'm like leaving work, I'd legit like hop out of the office.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point where my colleagues asked me, they're like, Charlie, you don't like hop anymore, hey.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think at that point, I had stopped hopping, as much as it's more so of a subconscious thing, but I had stopped hopping because I stopped enjoying working there. Like, I think I was just so not in tune and being in that place anymore, where certain things that I enjoyed doing and like hopping, you know, and for someone to actually just point it out to say, dude, you stop this, it made me do so much introspection with regards to my current state and my current situation at that particular time. So I think just
and that's kind of like a depressed person. They will hop until they stop hopping. That's when the depression has just taken their state of mind, you know. So that's when you just remind them and to encourage them. Yeah. And once again, like we've been saying, guys, just to always seek help wherever you can. Always pick out on the signs of depression. Just doing introspection, like Dudu was saying, seeking help, reaching out to family members, always reaching out for support. Is there a few you want to add?
Yeah. And I think right now in the current society we're in, a lot of individuals are finding it difficult to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And so hence, like we're saying, talking to people may be difficult. But honestly, for something to get resolved, you need to make the means.
Yeah.
You know, you need to take that leap of faith to actually get it fixed.
Yeah.
Because the deeper you try look at it and be like, izodlula. Nyagidlule, guys.
Yeah.
Because yes, you may escape it now, but it's going to come back and worse than it was
what it was before. Yeah.
Because underlying trauma remains, and it's going to get to a point where now you just burst.
Yeah. And it's too much for you to handle.
You just burst, and we never wanted to ever get to that point.
Definitely.
But let's like normalize talking about how we're honestly feeling and not trying to hide or feel like you're going to be judged. And if you do get judged, I mean, dude, we all get judged at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So just make it a point that you take care of you, as well as surrounding yourself with individuals that encourage you and not enable your behavior. So keep around strong-willed individuals.
And I think, like you're saying, guys, this applies to all ages. Depression in minors, depression in adults, depression in older people, depression in mothers, fathers, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, guys. This literally applies, what Dutu said, it applies to all of them, you know, to everybody. And to just always be aware, be cautious. Like Dutu always says, prevention is better than intervention. And prevention will definitely be better than intervention for someone who is actually depressed and who is seeking the help that they need.
because, like we've said, I mean, mental health matters.
Yeah.
Self-care matters.
Self-care.
You get what I'm saying?
A big one,
and as we know, like, you know, depression is the number one cause of suicide.
Yeah.
So we never want to find our kids, our mothers, our grandparents, and stuff like that doing extreme measures because they feel like they cannot cope with their current situation.
Yeah.
So for us individuals who know somebody,
Yeah.
who were somebody in that state, let's help others. Let's get the word out.
Yeah.
And let's assist. You know, and I'm just hoping that our videos just touch someone and make them aware that this too can pass. And there's people here who are willing to just help you get through things, you know?
Yeah, whether it's knowledge, whether it's encouragement, whether it's motivation, whether it's you need to just sit down and have a listen, you know? Then that's what we're here for, man. All that matters and more.
Definitely. So yes, guys, thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
And I hope you enjoyed our depression topics that we've had. And if there's anything you'd like us to talk about, or if there's anything you want to share with us, you can definitely email us at imatterandmore@gmail.com.
You guys can also check us out on Instagram, All That Matters and More. Please do not hesitate to DM us any opinions, comments, or anything that you want to say. Even if you're saying we're doing a good job, we'd really appreciate that as well.
Yeah.
And subscribe on our YouTube channel, please.
Please. And thank you.
Thank you. Oh,